Hello there everyone, this is Fungi Gamer. It is May 17th, and leading up to this next week, where in DbD News, May 22nd, we're going to get our new chapter revealed, I thought I would lay out my thoughts of the upcoming year and what I expect for Dead by Daylight for the 10th anniversary on June 14th. So I separate these out into different pieces. I have cosmetic collections, which are licenses purely reserved for cosmetics and legendaries. I have killer chapter reveals, either standalone killers or a full chapter with map potential. Survivor reveals, so these are just chapters, survivor sub-chapters. Rework reveals, notes on any upcoming rework planned in the near future, maybe one in year 11 and others in year 12 plus. Game modes, fun new game modes in the coming year. And general, just miscellaneous non-game related things. Some things that I removed that are honorable mentions are a licensed board game expansion. I don't think that's going to happen until we get the Grimoire Killer. Robert Englund Freddy. I would love to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Homelander and Mimic as killers. They might be further down the line, or maybe not considered at all, but I don't think they're going to happen this year. And Flesh and Mud Saturated rework, because Lord knows Behavior doesn't want to touch the swamp at all, or the hag, or anything related to the two. With that said, let's get into it. So the first thing on my list is general items. So first off, I think there's going to be some sort of controversy with this event, whether it be drunks, mechanical issues, a DashCon level of flop. If they bring out a ball pit, we'll find out then. But yeah, that's the first thing on my list. The next thing is an update on the Dead by Daylight movie. We know that it's kind of coming along, but we don't really know much aside from that, so this would be a good place to reveal that information. The next thing, and this is wishful thinking on my part, I really hope that they announce that they're slated for an HHN house, a Halloween Horror Nights house, for 2027. I don't think it's going to be for this year, but it would be the time and place to announce something like that. And finally, this is tying into some of the future categories. I do think we're going to get multiple chapter reveals or a whole year reveal during this event. There's been a lot of clues about the next chapter, and a lot of people are saying it's Jason, some people saying that they have information for Pennywise, some people for Slenderman and Art and Predator. I do think that they're going to reveal more than the one license at this upcoming event. So let me give you this image and have it kind of segue into the next section. We open up on a trailer, a whole bunch of survivors sitting around a fireplace. Some of them we might recognize, some of them might be new. All of a sudden we hear coming from deep in the woods. The survivors know that danger is coming, so they split up. One of the survivors in the woods starts to get like a reticle on them, a red dot, 3 red dots, and they kind of move around on their body until he sees a silhouetted, cloaked figure in the darkness that slowly reveals itself to be the predator. One of the survivors ends up at the bottom of a hill next to the entrance of a sewer tunnel, where a familiar red balloon floats by and then pops, revealing Pennywise. Another survivor runs past a food truck, but stops and is terrified to see Art the Clown standing there menacingly with one of his horns. Another finds their way into a makeshift church, only to find the judgment waiting for them, the Grimoire Killer. The 4 survivors make their way out of their locations and into a secluded cabin in the middle of the woods. Hearing footsteps approach, they lock the door, and then they hear loud bangs as a large machete cuts right through it. In steps Jason, along with the other killers. Cut to the logo, Dead by Daylight, 10th anniversary, year 11. Oh, and possibly Frank Stone too. I have him on my notes here, but I don't know. But yeah, I can imagine Behavior going all out and just showcasing the entire year. What better way to celebrate the anniversary? Next up are Survivor sub-chapters that I think would work very well for reveals. Number 1, The Last of Us, Ellie and Joel. This seems to be very highly requested. I'm not a big fan of The Last of Us myself, but I could definitely see these two either as a 2-in-1 or as their own thing. Next is Sydney from Scream. We're very solely missing Sidney Prescott and any Scream material in general, so I think this would be pretty well received. Next up on my list is Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. He seems like a pretty popular request, and I think he'd make a really great survivor, with a lot of cool cosmetic options with that armor of his. Finally, I thought I'd go with somebody who's a celebrity, kind of like Nicolas Cage, that I think would fit into Dead by Daylight. And I gotta go with Danny Trejo. He's in so many different horror movies, and he's not afraid to die in any of them. Very gruesomely, in fact. So I think he'd be just perfect for this game. Sticking with licenses, let's go over cosmetic collections. There are a couple that I think would be fitting for a 10th anniversary. Number one, we've had a lot of requests for Ghostbusters. I do think that Ghostbusters would work well as a cosmetic collection, with a whole bunch of different Ghostbuster suits for the survivors to wear. Next is a band cosmetic. Primarily I'm thinking Slipknot. I think we've had a slight confirmation for Slipknot in the past, so I think this would be most fitting. Next is Resident Evil 9. The newest entry in the franchise. There's been a lot of different costumes that people have been clamoring for. There's a character that's very similar to Wesker that I think would work as a Wesker cosmetic. I think Grace could work for a costume for Leon or for pretty much any of the Resident Evil survivors. Heck, Leon could get a couple of new costumes based on his appearances in the game. Finally, Five Nights at Freddy's. Hoo boy, we're still missing a lot of cosmetics. Particularly Foxy comes to mind. There's been a lot of talk about whether or not that cosmetic was lost or whatever. I think they're waiting to release it at a different time. And if not with a Mimic chapter in the future, which I don't think is going to happen for year 11, I'm sorry, but it won't. But yeah, I do think it would fit well with the announcements for year 11. Next up are a couple of rework chapter ideas that I think they might throw out there. If not for year 11, then for year 12 plus. So first off, I have A Binding of Kin, Grand Cecil, Grand Century. So this would be a chapter rework of the twins, their survivor, possibly a map for the twins. Obviously, the twins are like one of the few survivors that heavily still relies on slugging to work, and clearly Behavior wants to get away from that. So I think this is something that's on their thought process right now. Next is Tools of Torment, Reforged. So this would be for the Skull Merchant, as well as Tylita and Renato to a lesser extent. We've already had Behavior bounce around a couple of different ideas for the Skull Merchant, so I think this is more of a matter of time, if anything else. I'm a bit proud of this next name. This next one is Shattered Legacy of the Cursed Bloodline. So this is a Yamaoka and Killer rework chapter. So it's a rework of the Yamaoka map, as well as Spirit and Oni, and possibly including a new survivor in the form of a samurai that's been kind of rumored to be coming in as a survivor ever since the Trickster rework. I'm not sure if it's necessarily needed compared to the Twins or Skull Merchant, but I think it would be something interesting to look into that they could kind of wrap together in a theme. Finally is a Trapper rework plan. I don't necessarily want to call this a full chapter rework because, I mean, Trapper was base game, but I really do think that they need to update his base kit a little bit, and this would be a good time to kind of go do that and, you know, just maybe give him some traps that he could throw or additional traps that he could put on windows now that we know that there's perks that work with windows. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made this a thing going forward. Last but not least would be game modes. So for these, I included a live Grimoire beta test. I do think that there's going to be a live test of the Judgment at the live event. Maybe not for the public, but definitely for a lot of the streamers that they have there. I think they'll get them together and they'll showcase the next new update of the Grimoire. Next is a 5v5 mode. This would be really great to announce aside the Predator so that they could have an Alien versus Predator mode. But there was talks in the past about Behavior having a 5v5 mode where it's a survivor, one killer and 4 survivors versus another killer and 4 survivors, and it's kind of like a capture the flag mechanic. I think that would be really cool and would be a really great addition as a game mode. And this would be a perfect place to showcase it. Finally, we have the anniversary event. Now, there's a couple of different ways that they could go with this, but I think what they might do is they might go back to an original game mode to kind of simulate how the game was during its earlier days, maybe giving it a bit of rose-tinted glasses and different effects to kind of make it more mainstream, but also looking older. That way that people could have their cake and eat it too, if you know what I mean. Because I think if they just did purely original game mode, I don't think it would work well. But if they kind of tweaked it here and there and kind of made it look like that and feel a little bit like that, but had that as kind of like an anniversary thing, I think that'd work out pretty well. So the last thing I'm going to do here is just show my bingo sheet that I have prepared for the event, just to see how well it's going to do. I don't expect all these things. In fact, we might only get like a few pieces of them. But I really do think that the anniversary event is going to be something that's very interesting to watch. It's going to be very fun, and I can't wait to see what they're going to have. Well, that's my list. Let me know what you think, what you feel like is going to happen for the 10th anniversary. What other topics for DbD that you might want me to talk about. I promise you the next time I do this, it's going to be better scripted. I'm not going to be cutting here and there and going all over the place and I don't know and whatnot. But I do hope to have better scripted pieces of Dead by Daylight material in the future, because I have a lot of really great ideas that I really want to talk about and I really want to get out there. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day and see you in the fog.
Fun guy.
All right.
Shit, I'm sorry, Jane. I didn't realize you were injured. Fuck.
Uh-oh. Wait, who's the streamer? Curious Patak.
us.
Jane's the streamer, you dickhead.
Well, I did her, I gave her...
Oh fuck, you're getting double teamed.
Did you see that?
Oh my god!
Wait, I missed that. What happened?
Please clip that. Please clip that.
What did you do?
I can't, I don't